So we've showed you how to set up a course, how to set up a community. In this video, we're looking at how to set up the coaching product here in Kajabi. This can be a really good upsell, a VIP access to you as a one-to-one coaching, or you can actually do it as group coaching, but I personally wouldn't come at it this way around. I'd probably put it inside a community or somewhere else. So I'm going to focus really on that one-to-one coaching. You've got a course, but you've made available an option to do some one-to-one calls with you. So let's see how we set this up. Again, it is classed as a product in here, so it will come off of your quota, the same as creating a course or adding in a community. And let's click on here, coaching, and we're prompted, let's get started. Now, what you'll see in here is that you can do a one-off session or you can do a package of sessions. And when I first set this up, when it came out, I didn't realize they were all going to get taken off as products. So I set up a 1 session, I set up a 3 session, I set up a 5 session, and then I realized that was 3 products taken off in my allocation, which fair enough. If coaching is a thing that you want to do, absolutely that's the way to go. But there isn't another way of offering, 1 coaching, but if you want to buy 3, it's discounted, or 5, it's discounted. You can now in Kajabi have multiple of the same product, but there's not a way of applying a discount to it yet. So I'm going to put in here personal coaching. I'm going to put this in. So we're going to create a package because it's a little bit more interesting for you to have a look at. So if I wanted to put a coach in here, it's optional. I guess if you've got several coaches, you could do that. We could put an image in here. And we click save, upload 1 file, and continue. So you'll see here that it says, is this one-to-one coaching or group coaching? So you could create a name here. How many sessions do they have access to? I haven't used this, so I can't really speak into that. I can't quite picture how that works. For me, this is the one-to-one stuff. So we're going to do one-to-one. How many sessions? We've got 5 sessions. How do we want to schedule this then? So Kajabi have got a scheduler built in here. We already have this set up with Calendly, so I would use this, or you could manually do it. And if you're on a call with someone and you just want to put a slot in your diary, you can do that. This is cutting into, we use Calendly and we can blank out, certain times of certain days of the week. And then it means that my customers can go to that. I'm sure a lot of you are used to Calendly. They can go to that, they can see it, they can pick their slot and it pulls it in. I just find that Calendly has just got a few extra bits that I'm not getting out of Kajabi's version. So I would connect this up. Seems to have kicked me out. That's seemed to kick me out when I hooked it up to Calendly. I guess the trick there is to do it in advance. Hopefully this will go straight through this time. And it's synced in with my calendar then. We've got these 1-hour personal coaching sessions. It's booked in with that. Hit continue. So how do we want this appearance to be? I've got, interestingly, that seems to have kicked out my defaults. So I can put in these colors for the branding. And is this free or is it paid? No, it's definitely going to be paid. I'm going to say skip for now. We'll cover the pricing side of it when we get into the offers. And here we go. We've got this set up. So it shows me in here, or it will show me the clients that I've got. And it'll show me the package outline. So we've got 5 sessions. Now this might be useful to you. I don't tend to put criteria over these calls, but I guess if someone was buying in and it was 5 weekly calls and you knew that on week 1 you were going to teach something. So let's just look on here. Session 1, we could put a title on it, a description, an agenda, resources. So we could list out some items that we're expecting to cover on this call. Same with session 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, so you're actually building out a program that you're just doing once and it's in here as a template. Settings is just really where you're going back in and changing what we put in at the start. And the scheduling, if you wanted to change that over, you could. If we're going to be doing these live inside of Kajabi, then we can tell it to upload them automatically afterwards. We've already put our colors in. And there is an upsell button after completing the session, if we want to, that could just say, do you want to book any more calls? Or actually, this could be up to any other offer that we've got as well. I'm leaving that one out, but I will save the other bits that we've put in. So quite limited in what we can do with this design-wise, but if we click up here, we can see what this will now look like to our customer. So when they purchase this, or if it's part of a package, they've bought your course plus some coaching calls, they'll get this, and it's asking them to schedule the first session because you wouldn't want to schedule anything else. Click on here, and if there's any details that you want to add to the agenda, so from the client side, for me, they can book a call and talk about anything when they're setting up. So they might want to add some things in here. I really need help with my microphone, or whatever else it might be. Notes, they can put shared notes in. So again, it might be something that they want to, maybe it's a link to a video that they've made on YouTube and they want me to critique it or something else. So they can share all that kind of content in here. Or if it's their own personal notes, they can leave them in here before or after the call or during. And then resources, again, they can add files. I'm not quite seeing why. I don't think this is set up properly in here, but they should be able to upload files in there. It's just saying it's temporarily disabled. I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. It's always a bit hard when I'm just doing this on a little trial version. Now, what I was going to do for you is let you have a look at how we've done this really. So as I mentioned earlier, we went out and made 1, 2, 3, and 5 packages. So that took up 4 products in Kajabi, but we are using them. That's okay. So that 5 package on here, I'm trying to do this without you seeing details, but I did just create a dummy account, and so I can see what this is like looking at my account and details. So this is my AD.Salisbury. If I knew I was having a call with AD, and I could see notes in here, and if he had put notes in from his end, then the shared notes, here, shared notes would appear here. If they had put some agenda items in, they would appear down here, or I can add agenda items if I want to. And remember, it said earlier about if you're doing the recording here in Kajabi, it will upload the video automatically. This is where it would come in. It's telling me that I can access the recordings here, but there's nothing available. This will then give me, so as this session is used, so if I just ticked on this as markers complete, you'll see that now this session is filled in and it's ticked, and then the next one down would be available. So I really do like this, and so I do these calls with customers. I tend to use Zoom, and I will either record locally and upload it here. What I've done more recently is I'm using Zoom's cloud recording, and I just write replay up there in the description for people. But I am able to keep my own personal notes in here. It's only a simple text editor, but I'll do the call, I'll finish it, and I'll just write notes in here to say, this is what we covered on the call, so that then when I come to my next session, I can quickly look back at the previous one, see what we covered, and I'm a bit more ready to go. Or if that video is there, I can quickly skim through it. Sometimes the calls with my customers, they could be 6 months apart or more. And so when I see somebody's booked a call and I think, whatever did we cover on the last one, just helps me to go back in. So really do like this. It is a great tool, a great feature. The only little niggle I have is that it doesn't really link as well to somebody's profile, not like a true CRM software would do. So it's still treated as a product. So I come out of their contact area, I can see what they've purchased, but I've then got to log in and log into my dashboard here to find that same person and find their previous sessions. I would quite like, if Kajabi, you're listening, I would quite like to see that in their personal contact area, it tells me the sessions that they've booked, and I could click and come straight over to this window here. Certainly when you get a fair few people that are booking coaching calls, it would just make it quicker and easier to get through. There you go, that's my little gripe over. Now, what I've done then, so because I set this up on a little dummy account here, this is what, again, it looks like from the other side. So my customer here logs in, bit like we saw earlier. This has actually picked up, funnily enough, a template on this. I think we've played with a template on our website, and this page I haven't spotted that is picked up this coloring over here, but never mind. So you can see that now session 1 was completed 2 minutes ago. That's because we just ticked it. And now we're going to schedule the second one. This is happier now. Look, we can add agenda items to this if we want to. Look at my camera settings, and we're going to schedule this. So we would go over, and because we've hooked this up with my Calendly, you can see that it's giving me available slots on here, and I can book away. Let's put one in. See what happens. This is just Calendly now, so I can schedule this, and that's booked in. So this is the experience from the user's side. As I said a minute ago, they can see notes, they can add resources and things on here, and they would be able to log back in again, like I can do, to the previous session and see any notes and resources that were in there. They would also see if I've uploaded the previous call, they'll be able to see that here as well. So again, just to complete this, if I refresh this, there we go. So session 1 was done. Session 2 is booked in for July the 9th. So this is how I would be using it, or anybody would be using it. You know, I can look back at that previous one. I can get ready for this one. And depending on where we've got it, I can either go live from here if that's where we're doing it, or I would go off to Zoom and wait for them there. So I don't think I need to drag this out any longer. Hopefully that's been really useful to you. If you've got any questions, please do ask away in the comments and I'll gladly come back to you. Now, my last video under products is going to be podcasts. So we're going to get onto that one next. If you want to jump across and look at creating an offer around this, the bit that we didn't really touch on, then we'll put a link to that video as well. See you in one of them.